Hello folks, today is Friday, April 14th, 2017. As usual, it's me, Jake Baldino, here to talk about some video game stuff this week. But first things first, Star Wars! Got that out of my system, sorry, but we do need to talk about Star Wars, seeing as the Battlefront 2 trailer seemingly leaked. This looks like more of a marketing trailer that is, of course, going to be probably fully revealed at Star Wars Celebration, since we're doing this on Friday. The reveal is on Saturday, so we don't have everything. We don't have too much to go on with this cinematic trailer, but we do have a few things. Most notably, it does seem like there's really going to be a single-player campaign with you playing as an elite pilot, a different perspective from behind the Empire, which could be really cool if you've read Star Wars Lost Stars, you know what I'm talking about. Also, the fact that the game will cover multiple eras of Star Wars. You see new Star Wars, you see old Star Wars, you see Darth Maul fighting Yoda, a bunch of crazy stuff, which could mark a lot of really good things and basically them righting some of the wrongs that a lot of people had with the original new Battlefront game. We're still very, very skeptical here, but we're keeping an eye on it. But getting into the main story this week, something that did catch our eye was this job posting from ZeniMax for specifically Bethesda Game Studios, looking for someone who is experienced in developing for online multiplayer environments. Now, whoa, everybody went crazy. A lot of sectors of the internet immediately was like, Elder Scrolls 6, and it's going to have multiplayer. Let's just chill out for a second. That could be a possibility. But however, we don't really know with Bethesda Game Studios, since they've really been tiptoeing around a new Elder Scrolls game. They said they're not working on one currently in production right now. They are thinking about it, but we get a new article about them saying that one way or the other every single week. At least that's how it feels to me, so I don't know if it's really going to be something that is Elder Scrolls. I will say if it is for the next Elder Scrolls game, co-op will be really nice, but competitive multiplayer, I've seen a lot of people saying they don't really want it or need it, and you know what? I'm with you. Or if you want to put the hype aside and try and think a little bit more rationally, it could just be whatever Bethesda Game Studios is developing next. They have spoken about how they're working on new projects that aren't Elder Scrolls or Fallout, so it's probably going to be a long time until we hear something, but I'm looking forward to it. And I don't know if you guys missed this, but it looks like very soon Microsoft is rolling out the ability to give players refunds, whether you're buying games from Microsoft Xbox on an Xbox One or on a Windows 10 PC. They are rolling out a program where you will be able to return your game if you don't like it, if you've played it for under 2 hours, and within 2 weeks of when you actually purchase and download it. And you know what? I think this is a win for everyone. The ability to have refunds has been great for Steam. They've been handling it very well, and it looks like Microsoft is doing the same. And that's good that they're doing that. They're gearing up towards more good consumer practices, considering the launch of the Scorpio will be a thing soon. It shows that they're trying, and I think that's good. And speaking of Xbox trying, they also listened to a lot of fans who have been begging for it and announced that Black Ops 2 is now available to play on Xbox One thanks to the backwards compatibility thing. So if you're a fan of that, this is a good news for you. But something that really got us freaking out a little bit is this trailer, this teaser trailer that was released by Bandai Namco. Is it Namco Bandai or Bandai Namco? They keep changing it.
Bandai Namco now.
Fuck. Regardless of whatever the hell the company is, they released this teaser for a thing. It's an animated representation of what they're going for with this game, with the hashtag Prepare to Dine, which is a spin-off of hashtag Prepare to Die from the Dark Souls series. However, a lot of people are speculating a bunch of different things. This could be some sort of card battler game because they show cards. There's also speculation that this could just be a completely new IP, which is cool because the character design looks very interesting. Maybe it's a hack and slash style game. And then, of course, there are a lot of people saying that this is going to be essentially like a Bloodborne 2 or a spiritual successor to Bloodborne, which seems really cool. It kind of makes sense with the trailer. Some of the character design seems very different than Bloodborne, but there is a lot of blood and like Victorian-esque killing and stuff, so I don't know for sure. It's hard to really make a call on that. I do feel like something for Bloodborne, we would see more of a Sony announcement and less of a Namco Bandai announcement. Okay, so we're voting, so we're all voting it's not a Bloodborne game? No. Okay. It doesn't seem likely to be a Bloodborne type game, but I think it's really kind of shitty of them to use the hashtag Prepare to Dine like as a spin-off just to kind of get people worked up a little bit, but what are you gonna do? But you know, every week we kind of just dick around on the internet here and we come across stuff that people made with games that we really like. I want to show you this. This YouTube video is by the YouTube account Merfish, and it's just an example of how incredibly dumb the AI Fireman can be in Grand Theft Auto 5, and it is so funny. I have watched it like 4 or 5 times now. But in some pretty stupid news, after some rumors, it looks like Nintendo is officially pulling the plug on the NES Classic. The thing that a lot of people couldn't even really get their hands on anyway. They're ceasing production. Nintendo has announced that they're soon going to be ceasing production. They said, hey, glad you guys all liked it. Sorry if you couldn't get your hands on one, but we're pulling back on it, so sorry.
Oh no, how I play old Nintendo games now.
I know, how is one going to play old Nintendo games? There's thankfully a million different ways to play it. Maybe now this will encourage more people to start playing with Raspberry Pis, because that shit is really really cool. But another takeaway is that maybe soon they're going to start really doubling down on virtual console and making it a really good, viable platform. So that's why they're scaling these things back. It is, of course, easy to look into this and say, oh, Nintendo's so stupid. They don't know what they're doing. They absolutely know what they're doing. They wouldn't be doing this unless they had a reason. One reason is maybe just unforeseen complications with manufacturing, which very much could be a thing. Or like I said, maybe they're looking for a new way to sell these types of things to people. Regardless, it was a cool little fun little $60 console with some flaws, and we will miss it, but now it'll probably be on eBay for $1 bajillion. But speaking of Nintendo, they've been in the news a lot this week because they did have a pretty lengthy Nintendo Direct with some good little tidbits of information. Turns out they are not backing away from the 3DS at all. We got plenty of new 3DS games, including a new Kirby title, a new Pikmin game, and a new look at the new Sonic and Sonic Mania, another look at ARMS, which I'm still not totally convinced on, and now we're getting new neon yellow Joy-Con grips and battery packs for the Joy-Con grips that I don't think anyone really asked for. They also announced, and pre-orders are up now, finally they are moving forward with more Link Amiibos, that Cloud Amiibo finally, and a Bayonetta Amiibo. And speaking of Bayonetta, Platinum has released Bayonetta, the original game, on PC. All nice and new and shiny, and it's a really good game, and if you have Steam and if you play on PC, I definitely recommend playing Bayonetta. And in other news, and news that kind of surprised and flabbergasted a lot of people, especially some analysts, Nintendo Switch has been the fastest selling Nintendo console in the United States. It's sold just under 1 million units in March, and that's clearly, obviously, really good for Nintendo. Yes, you can say a lot of that is probably because of Zelda, and Zelda on Switch actually sold more than consoles, and the attach rate was over 100%, meaning that some people bought more than one copy, maybe to collect. Also, can we talk about this for a second? Somebody made a Resident Evil 4 visual novel romance dating game, and it's the most bizarre thing you've ever seen. It's actually kind of hilarious. Some of the writing and what they're really doing with it is so kind of self-aware and dumb, but it's really interesting. It focuses on Ashley, and it kind of makes Leon Kennedy out to be the pretty boy, but then Krauser is also in it, and it's in some really bizarre situations. Like with everything I talk about here, we linked it down below, and there's a direct link to it. It's really bizarre. Maybe watch a YouTube video of it, because it's kind of funny, kind of uncomfortable, but hey, I don't know. The world is a weird and crazy place. But we also got news that Uncharted Lost Legacy is releasing on August 22nd, and that's great. There's also some speculation that this will be over a 10-hour game, which could also be pretty much great. Oh, and a heads up as a PSA, on April 27th, Bethesda is releasing a playable demo for Prey for PS4 and Xbox One. I think it's really lame that they're not doing it for PC, but this demo will allow you to play the first hour of the game, which I think is good considering right now Bethesda doesn't give out review copies to reviewers until day one. So everyone is going in blind, so I think it's smart to be a smart consumer. If you're curious about the game, check out the demo. I think it's been a pretty busy news week for games, wouldn't you say? But we still have to do the console giveaway that we do every single week. You guys know the deal. There's a link below. You click it, you sign up, you enter once, then you're entered forever. And then every single week we close our eyes, go in, randomly choose one winner to win a free console of their choice. And this week's winner is going to be this person right over here. Be sure to check your spam box. I'll be getting in touch with you over the weekend via your email to find out how I can send you your console. Now we have to talk about all the stuff that has been going on this week. First things first, Star Wars. How do you feel about it? Maybe if you're watching this video on Saturday and you get a glimpse of Battlefront gameplay, what are you thinking on it? Also, The Last Jedi trailer. We got to talk about it. You could probably check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/becauseofvideogames. I'm probably going to be talking about Star Wars over there. But how do you feel about Xbox giving refunds? I think it is the right thing to do, and I'd like to see Sony follow. This is where competition is really good for everyone, because hopefully now Sony will get their ball rolling on some returns too. And do you think that new Namco Bandai Namco, whatever the hell game is going to be a new Bloodborne game? I'm not thinking so, but let me know what you think. And let me know what you think about the NPD news this month with Nintendo being successful with the Switch. Do you hate video games and not want them to succeed? Whether you're for it or against it, let's talk in the comments. I'll be down there hanging out with you guys, talking as much as I possibly can. But if you got anything else for me, hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Jake Baldino as well. But as always, thank you guys for coming around every single week and clicking that like button. We really live and die by you guys, so thank you very much. If this is your first time here, though, subscribing is a good idea because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Pizza's on me.
You dumb fuck.